Algeria 2, Germany 1. Many Algerian people discover World Cup at this moment. Everything began in 1904 during the first FIFA Congress. The idea to organize a World Cup competition was born, but an English federation disagreed. 26 years later, Jules Rimet, president of FIFA, revived this idea and it will be concretized in 1930 in Uruguay. Since then, World Cup took a major importance and more than 1 billion of people follow this event around this world. World Cup events and TV rights reserved football, initially a sport of poor people for privileged persons.
When it comes to the World Cup, everyone enjoys watching matches and atmosphere that the tournament brings. There is many aspects of the World Cup tournament, like the impact of the tourism industry, the way that tournaments affect the stock market, how the tournament affect the political community. Out of all cultures and countries, no country gets to display their culture more than host of the tournament.
The revenant of one World Cup, which extend for 1 month, cover the losses of 2 or 3 years for the hosting country. In the case of Russia, the event will cost $11.6 billion and the revenant will up to $30 billion. The different sources of these revenant is from selling tickets and tourism and investment benefits. Maybe we ask ourselves the question, what is all the money spent on? Well, holding such a massive competition means that you have to develop infrastructures like port of entry, train stations, airports and roads, and even the broadcast technology for all those teams and traveling fans.
A mega event can be a huge benefit as it accelerates the speed with which infrastructure projects are approved. It can be beautiful in terms of work skills. For those who participate in facilities construction, they acquire skills that can be used for the future construction projects. All these investments can be enjoyed by the population after the event. This event can promote national unity and pride and can potentially be very beneficial to demonstrate patriotism.
Not long ago, the Champions League has begun with the participation of the most well-known football teams, including some of the most popular players. The World Cup for this year came along with exams, which led the students to spend time watching games instead of studying. As an example, I will talk about Mourad, who is a big Real Madrid fan and who is a third-year university student.
I would give up my family and studies for a match.
That was said by Mourad. As a sociologist, I think academic failure is one of the reasons. Sometimes the young man feels that he is not useful in his studies and that he will not receive a prestigious scientific status from the studies. However, he finds himself in love with something else, like football. Because of popularity of football players in the community, they become his only concern. The result of this excessive attention leads him to sacrifice his time and the money for the sake of football and the expense of studies and cultural achievements.
I entered the world of football since childhood, and for me, the world was all I had, and also did well as a player. But the world of football is not as some believe. Most people don't know the dark side of football. Most people, especially young people, see soccer players as a rich man and their life easy and comfortable and enjoy a lot of fame like Ronaldo and Messi. But this is the question, how many soccer players like Messi and Ronaldo? Let me show you the problems in the world of football by taking myself as an example. I was injured at the top of my level as a player. At that time, I was shocked by the truth. This fact is not all footballers have a chance to return to the stadium again. Not all players end their careers successfully. I'm just one of the many players killed by the ball world. This injury was a turning point in my life, where I fought for a living because I had no work other than football. I did not have a good level of study. I did not have any diploma, no skill. In general, football took everything from me and left me completely crushed. The most difficult point is the shift from rich to poor, a shift from glory to humiliation. Believe me, when you are drowning in the sea of suffering and misery, it's very difficult to get out of it. I remember when I was a good player, when people saw me in the street, they rushing to me, praising me, asking for my signature. But after I disappeared from the football fields because of injury, I became like a ghost. No one is paying attention to me. It was harsh and bitter experience. But thanks God, I found a new way, and now I do very well. I also wrote a book that tells about my career, in which I share my personal experience with all the people, especially young people who are still at the beginning of their life. I call it the dark side of football. In the end, I want to offer advice to listener. Be like water, adapt and live with reality. Do not spend all your time in one thing, and if you lose it, you lose everything.